Can you see what's missing? We're going to put it right today. I came back from work one morning to find out we're missing one of these left-hand mud flap. You see the one on the right, obviously that's there, that's a genuine Land Rover one. But what I'm going to do today is fit a couple of those. I got a left and right hand one, brick part, not that expensive, about £20 delivered. In comparison to a genuine Land Rover one, which is well over £50 each. So you're looking £100 a pair or £40 a pair. So hopefully straightforward. There's only 3 bolts by the looks of it in the top. So we'll take off the original bracket and go ahead and fit 2 new ones. Simple. This is what I'm fitting onto the vehicle. A couple of brick part mud flaps, left and right hand sides, handed because there's a cutout for the exhaust there. Not bad quality. Hopefully they're going to last a few years. I suspect the paint won't. They're mounted on with 3 bolts that mount up into the chassis itself. On mine it looks as if I've got a couple of bolts coming down, probably because the threads have rusted away. I've been on this side before. I fitted a right hand side mud flap on the left hand side, but I had to cut a chunk out of it. But yeah, it's given up the ghost and eventually decided to fall off. If we look under the vehicle, a little bit awkward to get you in there. Let me just poke the camera underneath. Yeah, you can just see with the mud flap what's left of it. You can see the lines, that's the back of the mud flap. And towards the top of that, there's a plate that runs along that bolts up into the chassis here. But I got 1 bolt coming down, so I must have somehow manipulated a bolt to come down because the thread's gone in the chassis. But we'll get those out. A bit of plus gas, a little bit of tweaking, difficult to see on the camera, but we'll see how we get on. That's a lot better way of seeing it. If you lie on your back and look up where the exhaust is, we'll see if we can get those 3 bolts or nuts off, get the bracket down. Right, here we go. We're taking these off. On mine there's 2 bolts that are coming out on the outside, and there's a bolt sticking down from the chassis in the middle. I suspect that's one I've been into before. So I'd imagine there's 3 holes normally on your vehicle. 6mm thread by the looks. That'll take 3 bolts. Now it's going to vary from truck to truck and owner to owner, but that's what's on mine. On the other side I suspect there's a different setup of bolts, but there you go. See the old bracket off. What I'm going to do now is just clean this surface up, put some grease on it, so where the new mud flap goes on, rather than it filling with water, it'll have grease in there that hopefully will repel the water. These are really good bits of kit. Exolite multi-tool basically. Let's see if I can get them in a shot for you. All different Allen keys, metric and imperial. Exolite sell all different sets and combinations, but these are really useful on the truck, because you can get Allen key where you can't normally get an Allen key, and you know, you can delve in deep crevices with this. Very, very handy. And also what's helped me, plus gas. I don't know if you've used that before. People use WD-40, but that's not really a dismantling liquid. This plus gas stuff is, and it really does work well. But I'll clean this up, get the old one on, get the new one on even, and we'll start on the other side. Right, this is the right hand side now, and looking at the configuration and what we had on the other side, I'm pretty sure the chassis normally tap with 6mm threads in 3 holes. Unfortunately on this one, no thread, so either the captain nut's been ripped out, or for some reason it's just been drilled out or rotted out, because it's quite a bit bigger than the other side. However, it looks up, I've been in here before, because what I've found in there was a nut that goes on the other side of the chassis on a length of copper wire. So I suspect what I've done, I've dangled the copper wire down here till the nut is actually sitting over the hole, and drove a bolt in to secure the mud flap. So it worked last time, so I don't see why it won't work now. So I'll be threading that in, fitting the mud flap on. I'm going to put some more grease on this side as well, and I'll show you what it's all like when it's done. Just before I put the mud flap on, I will say that hole could take a riv nut, apart from the fact it's quite a bit bigger than it should be. Riv nut, for the 6mm threaded riv nut, that hole's too big, so I can't do that. Hence the nut on a bit of wire. So I'll crack on with that now. There you go. 2 new brick part mud flaps fitted. Hopefully we're going to last a couple of years. It'll be interesting to see how long the metal bracket that comes with them lasts, due to rust and poor paint quality. But hopefully I'm going to be surprised, but we'll see. One on the right hand side was a bit fiddlier to do because you saw the nut on a wire, but I managed to get that back in, and it's got 3 good bolts on the left and the right. So hopefully job's a good one. Anyhow, thanks for watching Mike Makes It.